Ever wondered how the popular sandwich, enjoyed worldwide, is created from start to finish? These have become a global staple, versatile enough to suit nearly every taste, and today, we'll take you on a fascinating journey to uncover each step in the factory, from sourcing the raw materials to the final stages of packaging and distribution. This detailed look will cover everything from selecting the best ingredients to the final stages of storage and delivery, showing just how much care goes into making a great product. Process begins with carefully choosing high-quality raw materials. This step is crucial, as the flavor, texture, and overall quality of each produce rely heavily on the excellence of its ingredients. For bread, grains like wheat or rye are sourced from farms committed to sustainable practices. The wheat must meet specific standards, including protein content and moisture levels, ensuring it produces a sturdy yet soft loaf. After harvesting, the grains are sorted and inspected to remove any debris or imperfect kernels. They are then sent to mills where they are finely ground into flour. The flour is sifted several times to ensure a smooth consistency before it's ready to be used in baking. Vegetables add freshness and color, so it's vital to source them from regions where they are in season. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and cucumbers are selected from farms with rigorous quality standards. Upon arrival, each vegetable undergoes inspection, where it's checked for size, color, and ripeness. Any items with bruising or discoloration are removed. These vegetables are transported in refrigerated trucks, ensuring they retain their freshness until they reach the processing facility. Cheese, another essential ingredient, is sourced from dairies that produce high-quality varieties such as cheddar, mozzarella, or Swiss. These cheeses must meet standards for flavor and texture, with each variety offering a unique taste profile. The cheese blocks are carefully aged for the right amount of time to achieve the perfect flavor. After aging, the cheese is sliced or shredded, depending on the sandwich type. Protein components, including chicken, turkey, ham, or beef, are sourced from farms that prioritize ethical practices and animal welfare. Upon arrival, the meats are examined and trimmed to remove any excess fat or connective tissue, ensuring only the highest quality cuts are used. The initial cleaning and preparation phase is crucial for ensuring that all raw materials are safe for consumption and ready for the next steps in the process. Each ingredient requires a specific cleaning method tailored to its nature. For bread making, the flour is inspected for contaminants or foreign materials before being mixed with other ingredients. In high-capacity mills, the flour may go through a series of sifting processes where air is introduced to separate any impurities. This ensures that only the finest flour enters the mixing stage. Water quality is also a consideration. It must be treated and free from chlorine or other chemicals that can affect yeast activity. For vegetables, the process begins by carefully removing them from their packaging. Fresh produce is often coated in dirt and pesticides, so a thorough wash is essential. This typically involves soaking leafy greens like lettuce in large bins filled with cool, clean water, allowing any residual dirt or chemicals to float away. After soaking, the greens are spun dry in a salad spinner or similar equipment that uses centrifugal force to remove excess water, ensuring crispness. Tomatoes, cucumbers, and other vegetables are also subjected to rigorous cleaning. They are rinsed under running water and may be scrubbed with a soft brush to eliminate any potential pathogens. Automated systems can handle large quantities efficiently, but manual inspection is often performed to catch any damaged or overripe items before they are sliced or diced. On the protein side, meats are inspected upon arrival at the processing facility. Each batch of chicken, turkey, beef, or ham is examined for quality and freshness. Trimming is performed to remove any excess fat or sinew, which can impact the final flavor and texture of the sandwich. Once the meat is cleaned and prepared, it may be marinated with spices and herbs to enhance its taste profile. The primary processing stage is where the real transformation happens, converting raw materials into components that will make up the sandwich. Each ingredient follows a detailed procedure to ensure it meets the necessary quality and safety standards. Bread production begins with the mixing process. The flour is combined with water, salt, sugar, and yeast in large industrial mixers. The ratios are carefully calculated. For instance, the hydration level is typically around 60 to 70%, which allows the dough to be elastic and manageable. Once mixed, the dough is allowed to rest for a period known as autolyse, which helps develop gluten and improve dough strength. After resting, the dough is divided into portions and shaped into loaves. The shaping process is critical. It affects the final texture and rise of the bread. Once shaped, the loaves are placed in proofing baskets and allowed to rise in a controlled environment, usually around 26 to 30 degrees Celsius, with a humidity level of approximately 75%. This proofing stage can last anywhere from 45 minutes to several hours, depending on the recipe and desired flavor profile. Baking occurs in industrial ovens capable of baking several hundred loaves at once. The baking temperature is typically set between 220 to 250 degrees Celsius. As the loaves bake, steam is often injected into the oven to create a crisp crust. Once the bread reaches the desired color and internal temperature, it is removed from the oven and allowed to cool on racks to avoid sogginess. During this time, the preparation of proteins takes place. For meats that require cooking, they may be seasoned and placed in ovens or smokers, with time frames varying from several hours to overnight for items like brisket. Each meat type requires specific conditions. For example, chicken needs to reach an internal temperature of 75 degrees Celsius to ensure safety. Once cooked, the meats are rapidly chilled to prevent bacterial growth. This is usually achieved in blast chillers, which lower the temperature quickly, maintaining quality. After chilling, the meats are sliced into uniform portions using high-speed slicing machines that can process up to 400 slices per minute, ensuring consistency across each sandwich. If you're finding this look behind the scenes fascinating, don't forget to subscribe. We'll explore even more everyday foods and how they're made in future videos. Following the initial processing, the secondary stage focuses on refining and enhancing the flavor and quality of each ingredient. This phase may involve additional cooking, curing, or marinating, depending on the type of meat or cheese being used. For instance, if ham is part of the sandwich, it may undergo a curing process that can last from several days to weeks, depending on the method. Dry curing involves rubbing salt and sugar into the meat, while wet curing uses brine solutions. During this time, the flavors permeate the meat, enhancing its taste. The curing process not only improves flavor, but also preserves the meat by inhibiting bacterial growth. For cheeses, the secondary processing may include additional aging. Cheddar, for example, is aged for varying lengths of time, from a few months to several years. Each aging period develops distinct flavors and textures. During this time, cheesemakers monitor conditions closely, adjusting humidity and temperature to achieve the desired outcome. Furthermore, vegetables may undergo pickling or roasting to enhance their flavors. For example, Onions can be caramelized to bring out their natural sweetness, while peppers might be roasted to add depth. These processes can be done in bulk, and they contribute significantly to the overall taste of the sandwich. Quality control is paramount at this stage. Samples of each ingredient are tested for flavor, texture, and consistency. Any ingredients that don't meet the established criteria are discarded or sent back for reprocessing. This rigorous oversight ensures that only the best ingredients make it to the final assembly stage. Now comes the assembly stage, where each component comes together to create the final product. Workers or machines place the bread slices on a conveyor belt, where a measured amount of condiments like mayonnaise, mustard, or sauces is applied. The next stage involves adding meats, cheeses, and vegetables in a specific order to ensure even distribution. Some factories use robots for this step, with precision nozzles and mechanical arms placing each ingredient with accuracy. Every sandwich is visually inspected to confirm it meets the established quality standards. The assembly of a product is a meticulous process that requires precision and efficiency, especially in a large-scale production environment. Once all the ingredients are prepared and ready, the assembly line comes into play. This stage typically takes place in a designated area where the components are systematically combined to create the final product. The first step involves laying out the base, which is usually a slice of bread or a roll. Depending on the type of sandwich being produced, there may be various bread options available, including wholemeal, sourdough, or gluten-free. Each type of bread is selected based on the product's specific recipe, taste profile, and customer preferences. High-speed conveyors may transport the bread to the assembly area, ensuring a steady supply and reducing handling time. Next, the process often involves spreading condiments. Common choices include mayonnaise, mustard, or sauces, which are typically dispensed from automated pumps to ensure uniform application. This ensures that every product has the right balance of flavor without any inconsistency. For instance, a typical application might involve spreading about 15 to 20 grams of mayonnaise for a standard sandwich. Once the base layer is prepared, the assembly moves to adding proteins. Slices of meats, such as turkey or ham, are positioned in a way that maximizes coverage without overcrowding. The slicers previously used in the processing stage ensure that each slice is consistent in thickness, typically around 1 to 2 millimeters, which is crucial for even distribution and maintaining the sandwich's structural integrity. Next, vegetables are added. Lettuce leaves, tomato slices, onions, and other fresh ingredients are layered strategically to enhance both appearance and taste. This stage is vital for ensuring that the sandwich is visually appealing. Vibrant colors and varied textures make it more enticing. For instance, tomatoes may be sliced into thick rounds, about 5 millimeters, to provide a satisfying crunch and a burst of juiciness. If cheese is part of the assembly, slices are carefully placed atop the vegetables or proteins. The choice of cheese can vary widely, from classic cheddar to creamy mozzarella, each contributing its unique flavor and texture. The cheese can also serve to bind ingredients together, providing a cohesive bite. Finally, the sandwich is topped with another slice of bread or a roll. This top layer is essential for completing the structure of the product and helps contain all the filling within. At this stage, additional condiments can also be added to the top layer for an extra burst of flavor. The entire assembly process is designed for efficiency, often completed within seconds per product. On average, a production line can assemble anywhere from 100 to 300 sandwiches per hour, depending on the size of the facility and the complexity of the item being produced. Workers may also perform final quality checks to ensure each of them meets the established standards before moving on to packaging. Once packaged, the sandwiches are stored in a temperature-controlled environment to preserve their freshness. They are kept in large refrigerators or freezers, depending on the distribution timeline. Transport vehicles equipped with refrigeration units then carry the packaged items to retail outlets, ensuring they remain fresh during transit. Some of them are delivered locally, while others may be shipped to regional distribution centers before reaching stores across the country or even internationally. If you enjoyed learning about the journey of a sandwich from raw ingredients to packaged goodness, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth looks into how your favorite foods are made.